Greetings, guys. Welcome to Wealth for Real Facebook Live session. It's Thursday, October 26th, 2023. And just heading out for the evening. Want to just do a general check-in with you guys. I mean, nothing real major or pressing to talk about, although I did want to highlight one thing that should be coming out on a few of the platforms, one way or another, in the next couple of days. I just need to kind of dig into it a little bit and digest it. But it's by the Swiss, I believe, firm Vontobel. One of their sort of like flash notices that they distribute to investors, followers. I guess, there's variety of ways you probably get your hands on it. I actually had it forwarded to me by somebody who has holdings with Vontobel. And I don't know how I came across it the first time I ever saw a Vontobel flash, but it wasn't from that person. I think it was a Google search, and it was about the U.S. debt ceiling, and they sort of issued a flash assessment of the debt ceiling situation back in April of this year, the implications, what investors need to look out for, things like that. And what I was struck by was the sort of succinctness of it. It was like a 2 to 3 pager that kind of like captured everything you need to know and gave you like a really clear assessment of like what it all meant, what are the implications, what should you do with your money in reaction to it, stuff like that. So of course things like that are always subject to potentially painting too broad a stroke. Maybe some investors should move their money during an event like that and some shouldn't, so you don't want to get sort of a one size fits all advice or anything from something like this. But these flash notices, I think there's still some value in them to just sort of like distill things down to like the really sort of critical items that you need to, kind of focus in on. And then you can always go deeper on your own or dive in on your own after that. So that was the first one I ever read. Now I've got one that I haven't read yet, but I will get it out to you guys about, the title of it was like Clouds Growing Over the U.S. Dollar, quote unquote. So of course, the U.S. dollar's shakiness is a common theme on all my channels. And of course, a paper like this would be of interest to me. And of course, I assume if you're following me, it would be of interest to you too. So the key thing is just how to distribute it to you guys. It's a PDF. I can't attach that to Facebook. I'm probably going to at least screenshot it on some of the accounts like TikTok or Twitter, or maybe if I can find the link online instead of the PDF, I'll post the link. But either way, you guys should be able to, I presume, Google it, because that's how I think I found the debt ceiling one. So if you just Google Vontobel and the exact title, you probably will get it that way. I don't know if there's a time lag on like when they distribute to their own investors and when they post it online. There could be a little bit of an issue with that. But, the point, guys, is this is a topic that I think if you're in this space, if you're handling your investments, if you're interested in finance, if you're trying to grow your assets, take care of your family's finances, whatever, you have to have like half an eye on this ball of like what's going on with the dollar, how much money we're printing, what the interest rate situation is, what's going on with the treasury, treasury yields, inverted yield curve, all this stuff that really kind of like speaks to the weakness in the US dollar. And, the refrain will be, yeah, that's right, Chris, but what's the alternative? That will be the refrain until there's an alternative. And when there's an alternative, the bottom will drop out. And, I don't know exactly what that looks like. I've never lived through something like that before. I'm not an economist. Maybe that helps. They don't have the expert bias problem. But whatever it looks like, it can't be good. Okay? I mean, it just cannot be a good thing for us here in the United States. Okay, the question is, severity, exact mechanics, panic level, all kinds of little nuances like that, obviously. But I really think that you would have an impossible time arguing that the replacement of the US dollar as the world's reserve currency or the favored currency could be a good thing for U.S. citizens. I don't think you can make that argument. I think you could try to make the argument that it's not as bad as people say it would be, or that there's alternatives and there's solutions and there's ways to keep it from being too severe. Maybe that's an argument somebody could take up. And I don't know that I would believe it, and I don't even know how to construct it myself. But I think that trying to say that it's no big deal and that it's not going to have an effect on U.S. citizens, holders of dollars, etc., it's implausible to me. So I'm excited to read this flash paper and get it out to you guys and see what you think about it. I don't know that it's really going to say anything we don't know already. I mean, we know the U.S. has inordinate amounts of debt, $2 trillion deficits as far as the eye can see. So we know this debt is going to explode over the next 10 to 30 years. I mean, like, that's, just look at the trajectory on a graph. I mean, it's abhorrent. So I think that's all, documented, and that's all a given. We just need to really see at this point, what the exact, implications end up being. But, so I don't know if this paper is going to go that far or not. Again, it's 3 pages. So I don't know that it's going to, really say anything new or groundbreaking. What's interesting, I think, on the face of it, is to have an organization like Vontobel that's outside the United States, it's in Switzerland, if I recall correctly, to have them commenting on it from the distance that they're located at. That can be a hindrance. That could also be a positive. It kind of like eliminates, pretty much any political bias or any, coloring of the lens, if you will. Instead, it just kind of I assume they're just going to focus on facts and data and statistics and reality. So that's the advantage side of it. But I will let you guys know when it comes out, or if I'm doing something weird with it to get it out to you guys, I'll probably post something about that. But it could be just as straightforward as, hey, here's the link, go check it out, guys, or go Google this, and here's what the front page looks like, or something like that. So other than that, guys, I mean, nothing, just a quick note, I did buy another option set of contracts for December. I had the November SPY 355 put, which on a day like today, when the markets got beat up a little bit, and I think also yesterday, that option, kind of reacted semi-favorably. Of course, expiration is right around the corner, like 3 weeks away. But I decided a day or two ago that I wanted to add a December put for the 320 strike. When I bought the 355, S&P, SPY was around 455. And now it's like around 420 something. So, or something like that. So I said, okay, well, if it's in the 420s, I'm going to buy a 320 strike for December and just build in that second layer of Black Swan protection protocol. I mean, trust me, guys, I am an absolute fucking amateur when it comes to this. I mean, if you bought an option based on something I told you, good luck. I mean, God help you. But I just want to let you guys know what I'm doing. And so that's what I'm doing, is now I have a November put and a December put to backstop it. Because at this point, I kind of feel like that November put, even with some big movements downward in the market, that expiration is coming so close that I'm not going to get the movement that I really would need to make that thing pay off to any degree. So when I bought the December, I think I put like $100 into it. I mean, it was a pathetic amount of money. Don't get me wrong, guys. But it's always fascinating when you go into Fidelity and you buy that option and you say, let's say you're buying $100 worth of contracts, and it says, maximum loss 100, because you can only lose the amount you paid for the options. Max gain 67,000. I mean, that's actually what it said. It was like, you're buying $100 or so of options contracts. The most you're going to gain out of these options are $67,000. So I kind of like that. I'll put a $100 wager down to potentially get something in the 5-figure, as high as 67K back. Of course, for it to hit 67, that option would have to come into the money and everything would have to kind of line up perfectly. But that would also mean the market took an enormous crash. So anyway, just want to let you guys know that I've done that to add in a little bit more protection. Got a new Speaker of the House now, so that means that, you're going to get a government funding bill, so you're not going to have a government shutdown in November. So that would just be something to kind of keep an eye on. But other than that, guys, that's about it. I'm going to go ahead and post this live. If you guys have any questions or comments, drop them below. Thanks for your support of the channel, the page. Go over to the YouTube channel, Wealth for Real. Super, super, super appreciate it. Can't thank you guys enough. Hope everybody has a great Thursday night, and I'll be checking in with you guys again real soon. Okay, till next time, it's Chris Anastasio, Wealth for Real. Thanks, guys.